Led by a lifelong interest in healing, Dr. Linda Salvin pursued an advanced degree in epidemiology. Then, after dramatic near-death experiences, Dr. Linda saw the other side and returned with gifts of insight, visions, and revealed wisdom. Now those gifts are ongoing, and she's here to share them with you. Get ready to be amazed. It's time for Dr. Linda Salvin's Psychic Solutions Podcast with America's original radio psychic, Dr. Linda Salvin, offering up her always fascinating blend of psychic psychology, clairvoyant insights, and expert guests and alternative healing methods. So pull up a chair and get ready for a visit with the one and only Dr. Linda. And now, live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Linda Salvin.
Well, here we are again. I am Dr. Linda Salvin, and welcome back to Psychic Solutions Podcast right here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And on my YouTube channel, Dr. Linda Salvin, if you would click that little bell or whatever it is to become a subscriber. I need more subscribers, people, like we all do. It's the way of the future. It's all about how many people like you, I guess. It's all the digital world. And you can find me on Instagram at Psychic Dr. Linda, and you can always find me at lindasalvin.com. But I do the show 3 times a week with different people, you calling in, or on Wednesday with Candy Finnegan on the Recovery Wednesday to help you understand recovery from the perspective of addiction and how you can get out of bad behavior that doesn't serve you well. And what I talk about as a psychic healer and a medium is your future, your well-being, your healing, and how you can become the best you and what you want to do. I've been doing this since 1994. Those of you that have been following me or new to me or whatever, I'm always here. I've been doing, I do a lot of nutritional counseling. I do a lot of promotion on certain products, and I know work. I'm 70 years old. My skin is clear. My hair is very healthy, as you can see. I get it cut every 2 weeks because it grows like a weed because I'm healthy with my nutritional products. My nails grow fast. The hair grows fast. When your body's healed and you've got the right nutrition going on within your system, your body's going to respond beautifully. So if you are having, I'm not saying you're going to grow hair if you don't have any hair, but those that have hair usually find that it's shinier or thicker, or even some of the follicles regrow hair. So that's just one portion of the body. Of course, we're a huge machine with I forget how many bones, 700 and some odd bones alone. And then all the organs and the tissues and the cells and the, I'm watching the computer do its thing over here as the show is live. The opportunity to tune up your body is phenomenal with all the different products out there. But I promote 2. There are 2 that I swear by that I never thought I would. And one is DNA nutritional nutrition based on DNA called nutrition. And the way that you find out about what your customized clinically dosed product would be is to swab your cheeks, have your DNA tested by the company, which is HIPAA compliant. And no, it doesn't go to the government. It is very, very private. Nobody knows anything about you except you get your name and a barcode. You just get a barcode. Nobody knows you. No, nowhere in a system. You're not going to have a data breach. And then you can't really see it, but you get a report. You get actually 150 pages of a report. This is a copy of my map. I'm going to talk about the DNA nutrition. It's all epigenetics. We are born with genes we inherited from both parents, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be who we are. We're a part of each. And what this does, it shows the hot spots. Like I have 2 reds, which are mostly cardiovascular, heart disease, stress, depression, high blood pressure, everything that has to do with the blood and the heart. And I have heart disease on both sides of my family. I've already had a heart procedure 22 years ago, so I'm at risk. But what this nutritional product does is it lowers that risk for me, that I won't say I won't have a heart attack somewhere down the line. I hope to God I don't. But with the nutritional products I'm taking, hi Minaj, give a call in. You'll see the phone number on the screen in just a moment. Give a call. Don't just say hi on the screen. People, call in and talk to me today at 561-623-9421. The more nutrition my body receives based on the elements that were found by the analysis of my saliva to find my genes, the way that this is customized is based on the epigenetic map. So your formula is not going to be my formula, and Rebel, who runs the station, is not going to have the same formula as you or me, because we're all individual. We don't have the same DNA. We're all individual. So there's no one size fits all product. That's the beauty of this company. It's not one size fits all, one flavor suits all, one pill fixes everybody. No, this is individual, customized, clinically dosed per person, meaning there's over 400,000 formulas in that company right now. If you really want to get well, you can take it with medication. It's not going to hurt anything because it's nutrition, it's vitamins, minerals, it's amino acids, it's fruits, vegetables, oils, seed oils. It's everything that you need to complement your body, which is a machine, to keep it running properly. And over the years, I'm on it now 4 years, I have seen my weight change, inflammation change, my cravings change. I used to crave caffeine. There was a caffeine gene. It fixed it. I got fed the nutrition I needed so I don't crave caffeine anymore. I used to drink coffee in restaurants. I'd have iced coffee, or I'd have cappuccinos, or I'd have a pot of coffee all day long and have iced coffee constantly. Don't crave it. Tea once in a while, a lot of water. I'll have a soda once in a while, but most of the time it's water. I just flush and keep myself hydrated with nutrition. And that's what most of us don't understand. You're not getting the vitamins and minerals that you need out of food today, because food is processed differently. And we have all of the chemicals that are being sprayed on the farms, and we've got a whole thing coming down the pike that, we may not even have food. We may have a food shortage coming up. We don't know what's going on, because there's a lot of stories out there about the rural versus the urban fights that are starting to happen. You got to stay healthy through what's happening, and what we have, like our own civil war here in the country, until everything works its way through. We'll survive it. It's not the end of the world. It's change. We're just changing again. We're always in the flux of change. Fear, faith, calmness, chaos. It's life, right? So my job is to keep it kind of balanced and harmonized in the middle of the storm and get you to the other side. If you have a topic you want to talk about, call in. I'll talk about near-death experiences, life after life, life after death, out of body, not just nutrition, not just healing, but I have experienced 3 near-death experiences, 3 out-of-body experiences. I've seen the other side. I am connected to the other side after totaling a car and having the white light experience in 1984. All of you guys know last week was the 43rd anniversary of the plane crash. I survived that. I became a walk-in. What's a walk-in? A walk-in is where a soul leaves and another takes over a human body to do a path, a purpose, and whatever. I was initiated in the 80s, not understanding where I would be in the future, which is now, to help. I'm just another talking head out there. There's thousands of us now because of the internet and StreamYard and Facebook and YouTube. Everybody's got an idea. Everybody's got an experience. Everybody's talking. Well, I've been talking about it before the internet. So it's not that I have a better idea. It's just I'm a little older and I've been doing it a little longer, and you just happen to find me. Okay, why don't you call in and ask a question? What's it like? What's it like to be out of your body? What's it like to become a psychic? 561-623-9421. How do I know there's a God? How do I know there's life after death? How do I know? Because for 22 years, I channeled dead people. I channeled spirits that came in from the other side when people would book my calendar, much like the Long Island Medium and all the others you hear about. I just don't do it anymore. And I don't need to be in arenas proving that I have that gift. It trained me. It changed my face. It changed my economic situation. It changed my socialization. I was between worlds all the time, which I am even now, but not to the point where I'm being pulled by the dead people needing help, because there's a lot of spirits. When they leave here, when somebody passes away, they don't always go to the other side. They don't always make it to the light. They don't always have closure with their loved ones, or they'll stay close to the earth plane for quite a while until the people that they've abandoned or left or hurt. Because there's a lot of hurt, and I can feel it. I was just talking to my mom in her picture, because I'm coming up on the anniversary of her 15th anniversary of her passing, and it's hard. It's. I can hear my mom. I can feel my mom. I miss my mom, And I talked to my mom. Just like I wish you were here to see the show, be on the show, tell me what's going on with her. But it's almost 15 years in a few weeks that I lost her, but it's like yesterday. It's gone so fast, but it chokes me up, and I can start to feel the pressure coming on of the anniversary date. We all go through it. Nobody's immune to it. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, that's the date," and get on with your life. It starts to come in like a little fog. So what I'm doing to celebrate is I'm taking a week off. I'm going out of town to to work through some of it in Alaska. I'm going to go see the Northern Lights, but I can already feel the heaviness of the loss and the grief coming on. It's a hard time for me. And my sisters and my dad, we all process it differently, just like you and your family will process loss differently. But is it true? Is it real that you can communicate? A talented medium can communicate with the other side? You bet. I have a book coming out this year, and you will see many testimonials with photographs that clients like you who had hired me in the past for 22 years, when I went looking for certain stories to put in the book, gave me their stories, their testimonials, their photos to prove the existence of my gift. There's thousands of mediums out there. There's thousands of psychics, and everybody has their opinion. I have mine. It's just taken me a lot longer to get the book out because I had more to do before I was ready to say goodbye to that portion. Hi, why don't you call in 561-623-9421. Give a call. Lines are open, people. I love chat and hi, how are you? But I do talk. We do have a voice. Let's have a voice on the show. If you want to know more about channeling, there was a lot of depression in my family, and I get choked up because there are 3 suicides in my life, my family. My grandfather, my uncle, and my other uncle, they all committed suicide. And sometimes I think my mom wanted out because I remember the day before she died, she said, "I'm the only one left." Well, she had 3 kids and a husband too, but I think her own pain from what she had experienced in life was to the point where she was ready. She had cancer. She was diagnosed with lung cancer 2 days after my 55th birthday, and she was gone 2 months later. I'm now 70, and it's like yesterday. We're energy people. We're just frequencies. We're just life. We're just human. We're just sensitive beings. We can have attitude, we can have creativity, we can have abundance, we can make all the money in the world and hurt, or you can have nothing and hurt. It's not about the physical world so much as healing what's inside. And I just did a show with Mike Daughter on the Tuesday. You might want to go look at it. He played football and got to the Super Bowl in 1984. He's now on the path of peace and harmony and healing and helping people awaken to their being. You get to a certain point where as we evolve, and I've said this many times before, the more spiritual you are in this lifetime is the higher you're going to evolve and ascend when you pass on. So the key to life on the physical plane is to open up spiritually and bring it all together. It's very difficult before we come into life. Are we dead before we come in? And no, we're never dead. It's just the soul, the body. It inherits a body. We choose our parents. The soul is always reincarnating. It's always on the other side. It's always out there. But we're the temple to the soul. We're the body. We're just like here's my candle for wicks of wisdom. The wax is the soul. The candle in Kabbalah represents the soul of man. Think of it. It's the soul, but it has to sit somewhere. So think of the glass as the body, and all of you, we all have souls, but the soul exists many, many lifetimes prior to this incarnation. So if I was born in 1954, my mother, for example, was born in 1930, but she left in 2009. So for those 78 years, she inhabited that body, but her soul's still there because I can hear her. I can feel her. I get choked up. I've been choked up all day for some reason. I can feel my mom. It's coming in strong. And I want to run, but I can't because it's all around me. I can hear her. It's like she's upset about something. I'm not sure what it is. Her sister died before she did with lung cancer. Their brother committed suicide with a gunshot. Their father committed suicide with a drug overdose. And their uncle committed suicide with a gun. So, that's my family. We all have our stories, but I come from a lot of pain. a lot of pain. But you learn how to live with your own pain. Plus, I've had my own pain, broken relationships, breaking up engagements, moving in and out of Los Angeles, going away to school, career disappointments, being embezzled by a producer, giving Kris Jenner a start to her career and never hearing from her again. Yeah, I have a resentment towards that one when they did Weeks of Wisdom. It's all online. It's not new. But, you think you're doing good for people. They take advantage of you. They walk all over you. Do the best you can just to stay in your lane. I can forgive. I can forget. No, I don't want that. Yes, I do want this. Same thing with you. What's important? What's your passion? Where are you going? And right now, I just need my mom. I just need to feel connected. What do you need to feel connected to? Is it about a story? Is it past life? Is it your future? Is it your career? Is it somebody from the past? Is it somewhere you want to travel to? We're on this journey. It's not a long one. It feels like it's long when we're in it and on the train, especially when you're young, days and months, especially when you're in school and you're a kid, it's like forever. And as you get older, it goes faster and faster and faster. My mom always said time goes faster the older you get. And you can always pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And that has become the truest statement she ever said to me. And I've had these conversations with people the other day going out to dinner because we all have family issues. I don't know anybody that's got, leave it to Beaver, friendly love and balance. We can work towards that. If we could feel it within ourselves and make it in our own family unit, then maybe the rest of the world would trickle into harmony without all the chaos that's going on. It's all the same. It's just people. We're out of control. So I have learned as a spiritualist that the control comes back by believing in a power greater than yourself. I choose to call God. There's something out there that has me going in this direction. I knock on a few doors and the people disappear. I knock on other doors, the floodgates open. That's your spirit. Somebody asked, are we alive? Yeah, the soul goes on and on and on. If you have past life regression therapy, you will discover the different incarnations your soul has experienced through time. I'm dealing with a friend of mine from high school who's just now starting to open up to past lives. And she's reading the books that are opening them up, like Many Minds, Many Masters is one of the best written by psychiatrists or psychologists to understand the mind. You might read Twin Souls by Dr. Maury Pressman. I want to see if I can get him on there. He'd be wonderful. It's been years. But he was the head of the medical school of psychology at University of Pennsylvania, wrote a book after interviewing tons of patients about past lives. It's not new. It's just more and more intriguing because more and more people are becoming aware that there's more to us than this. So yes, our soul was here and alive in the ethers before we reincarnated into the body. I know I was a male in my past life. We've all been men. We've all been women. We go through both genders to learn what's called androgyny. So you've got the masculine side and the feminine side, and learning the balance as to what makes you you. There's no right or wrong. It's just who you are. What are some of your questions, people? I know you're there. Call me 561-623-9421. Don't be shy. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's just, and plus I'm just on a screen. You can see me, but it's not just hearing me. The opportunities for you to explore your inner world are vast. Just don't go too far deep with the wrong practitioner, or you can get hurt. Not that you will, but you can. If they don't guide you properly or they don't bookend some of the work, you're going to be left confused, a little maybe out of your body, and maybe overwhelmed with questions that can't be answered, right? You want to have the right guidance. I do not do past life regression, so I'm not qualified. I can see past lives. I can hear some of the past lives, but no, as a regressionist, that's a whole technique that I am not trained in. And I will tell you if I'm trained in something to help you with, like nutrition, or I love integrative health. I love bringing the nutrition, mind, body, spirit together to make you whole, because I have been fragmented in my life. I was addicted to diet pills. I came off drugs. I know what it was like to be fragmented after a trauma like the plane crash where I was out of my body for 4 months. I understand the split. I understand depression. I understand confusion. I'm not different than you. I may have had a few different experiences, but then you've had experiences I haven't. but you help each other by saying this is all life. It all comes together. I'm getting chills. So I'm telling the truth, but there's also somebody listening that just got the truth. And whoever that is that's getting chills, give me a call or pop into the chat and let me see what you're experiencing, because I would love to communicate. So, Eileen, why don't you call in? Let's see, we're not, before we came into life, are we dead before we come in? Let me explain life and death for a moment. Let's go back to that. When a child is born, let's not get into abortion and fetal activity and when does life really begin, and because there's a lot of controversy to that. As a spiritual person, I believe that the soul, that unique part of us that makes us who we are, with our talents and gifts and what we inherit and putting it all together to keep us breathing, enters when we take that first breath. When we hear that breath and the baby cries, the soul's awake. It's entered. Now, some spiritual people have a keen enough eye to actually see the soul coming in, usually in an operating room, a delivery room. They see it. Same happens at the end of someone's life, where sometimes as a person's laying down and somebody's there watching or helping them transfer over, like in hospice, they will see at the last breath, the soul exits. And sometimes you can see the stream of energy if you have the keen eye. It's almost 2 years now that I put my dog down, and somebody said, watch her eyes as you're holding her. And I was so overwhelmed. I had 3 friends here, plus the vet, and I was holding Penny, and her face was away from me. And by the time it was over, I realized I didn't really look her in the eye to say goodbye. And you're supposed to really be there for your animal, because the last thing they want to see is you if you're putting them down. And I, till this day, I have guilt because, oh my God, I was holding her. Blah, blah, blah. But I can hear her and she's happy. And I know my mom's got her. My mom gave her the name Penny, so they're together, as are my other dog. Well, I had a dog named Kayla that I had to put down because her spine fell apart. And I had 5 cats and 5 birds, and my whole little family of animals are on the other side. And I know they're fine because I get little messages, just like we do with the butterflies. But the soul goes on to learn lessons for wisdom. So when we reincarnate, we have a mind and we have our ideas and we have our passions. And yes, we have our lessons, and we get bullied and we get tossed around and we get thrown in and out of different situations till we find the path. Now, some people wake up and they just, I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to go and be music. They just know and they do it. But they still have bumps. They still have obstacles. There's still inner work to do. Just because it looks like they got there quicker, easier, look great. No. Everybody that looks like they have a silver spoon in their mouth still have to pay prices to live. There's health, finances, family interactions, social interactions. There's always something. Nobody's immune to what happens on the planet. All we can do is do the best we can to be who we are with others on the planet. So the soul comes in, learns its lessons, and goes. Now, that, like my mother died of a disease. She died of lung cancer. The cancer took her. Cancer took my aunt. I was a smoker. I've had lung exams over the years just to make sure I'm okay. And my doctor, a pulmonologist, had told me that it takes 18 years for the lungs to totally regenerate the tissue after having been a smoker. I'm now 23 years non-smoking consistently. And that means, I remember when it was 18 years, the doctor said, Linda, you're okay. It's not going to come back as long as you don't smoke. You're fine. Your lungs are healed as if I had never smoked. 18 years of my life, or your life, or someone else's life, have to pass without intoxicating the lungs. Vaping is worse than a lot of tobacco, pot. Plus, we're inhaling carcinogenics in shampoo, dishwasher soap, clothing. Everything has something that we're either inhaling, ingesting, absorbing. You can't escape it unless you live in a bubble. And John Travolta did a movie about the boy in the bubble many, many years ago, but you can't live in a bubble. So what do? You do the best you can to prevent disease. You do the best you can to prevent trauma. You do the best you can to heal from whatever trauma or chaos or confusion there is from a past life that was brought into this life, or that you've experienced and magnified in this life so that you can have a better life going forward. The soul came in knowing there would be challenges in this body that you now live in. For some reason, and there's a book on the market called Strangers Among Us by Ruth Montgomery that was given to me back in 1981 when I first was told by a psychic that I'm a walk-in. I said, what's a walk-in? And she said, it's when you're close to death and another soul takes over. I said, oh, it's just in a plane crash. And she knew everything before even talking to me. And I got it. But I read that book over and over and over again for 6 years till I finally realized what was going on. And I understand it. Now it's 43 years later and I just accept it. But why did I have a soul exchange? I don't know. Why did they, meaning spirit, choose me to be a healer? I don't know. It's not what I dreamed of. It's not what I expected of myself. Do I love it? I have a passion for it. Do I like helping you? You bet I do. Do I love hearing that you've grown, changed, lost weight, met the right guy or girl, got the promotion, moving to whatever state or city you want to go to? You bet I do, because I get to see the light. You know, people call or sometimes they say, well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Well, what'd you do to make it happen? Did you at least call? Did you interview? Did you show up? Did you break up? Did you tell the truth? All I can do as a reader, as a psychic, is shine the light on the path and tell you, oh, don't trip over on that little boulder. It's like being the flashlight at camp. You know, we're going on a trail and I'll say, here you are, but we're playing, you know, pin the tail on the donkey without the blindfold. What do you want? What's your curiosity? You guys are sitting there. I can see you in the chat, but you're not asking questions. What do you want to know about? Ask me a question. This is the Thursday show, which is all metaphysics, yes, but I want to help you get some answers to some of those questions that you're curious about, just like Renaj wanted to know about life before life. Yes, there is life before life. There's different ways of dying. Obviously, it can be a long-term illness, a short-term illness. It could be murder, unintentional. It could be an accident in a car, a train, a plane, a boat. It could be a stabbing. It could be a war victim, somebody shot in combat. Now, the soul goes on in different ways after they've died, depending on how they died. The soul that was murdered or in combat is more confused than that soul that has been in a terminal situation preparing to die, knowing it's going to die. There's a different level of ascension. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the people who are kind of knowing they're between lives, dimensions, have a different sense of security, faith, kind of knowing, oh, they see their mom, their aunt, their grandmother, their ex-husband, their ex-wife, a dog. There's symbols, there's voices. I remember when my aunt was dying, 3 hours before she died, she saw my grandmother. She saw an orange light. She knew that she was going. She was talking to the very end, and then she was gone. My mom, I had a dream of my grandmother the day before my mom died. And I said, Grandma, I thought you were dead. She goes, no, I've just been away. So she had come to me in my dream, but it was reality hitting. And I said to my mom, Grandma was here, and she said, you're going to be okay. And of course, my mom died the next day. But my grandmother came to get my mother. She was letting me know. And you can see those signs around your world too. You will get hints. You will get messages. Not always will you hear about the tragedy of somebody passing until afterwards, but you may get a feeling. But when that soul is gone, you can feel it. Now, the interesting thing I experienced after my mom's death, my dad called in the morning to say, get up to the house. Your mother just passed away. And I drove up. 6:15 in the morning, and they lived in the canyons. And I stayed with my mom's body for a couple of hours, and I could hear her talking. And at the very, very end of this conversation, I said, "Mommy, don't go." She goes, "I got to go now." I said, "No, don't go, don't go." She goes, "I got to go now." And there's a plane flying over. Just I'm telling this story. It's always like God saying, "Here we are." Um, at the very end, I said, "Don't go." I felt an energy or a stream of light or a bit of connection. That spiritual connection from my navel started to disappear. And at the same time, it finally left my body. This is the soul I'm talking about, because I was still connected to my mom. The doorbell rang, and it was the Neptune Society to collect her body. I mean, to the nanosecond. That's how timely and synchronized our lives are. We have no control, even though we try to control. It's already planned. Okay, I understand why you can't call. Thank you. I'm on a bus stop picking up my daughter. My question is, why do we not remember our past lives but seem to remember that we died? Not everybody remembers past lives, and not everybody does remember their death. Everybody's got different memories. Everybody's got a different soul recognition. Let me go back to the soul leaving my mom and me, and I'll answer that question because I know I have lived many lives that I died young, and I had come from a family with a lot of death, and the opportunities that I was given to become stronger were beyond my control. I don't remember every time I died. Maybe you do. You should write about it or call me when you can or book an appointment. We'll talk about it. Past life memories usually occur in a person until about age 5. The average child will have a recollection. Some people remember as they get older, which is why there's so many books that have been written, because they do remember. Or you can get into meditation, or you could get into some type of past life regression and relive them. It depends on where you're at in your own evolution of your soul. It depends on how much you want to dig and dive into your past to see why you were where you were in maybe 1940 or 1920 or 1863 or 1702. Who knows? Go find out. I'm not that regressionist, but it's fun to track where you've been as to why you're here now in 2024. You might have been born in the 90s, the 80s, 2020. Who knows? I'm 70. I've been here 70 years, 1954. We're all here at some point, and we all leave at some point again. Do I panic about the future? Yeah, I fear the future because I don't know when I'm going to die. Nobody knows when or how. And I was at a party last night, a painting thing, and somebody said, just don't tell me when I'm going to die. I said, we're not allowed to talk about death. Psychics are not to predict death with anybody. You don't give the fear. You don't instill fear. And apparently, as I was taught, is if you do start telling people about death, you take on a negative karmic thing and something will happen. We get punished. So I don't go there. I don't do that. I understand soul evolution. I understand the soul's yearning. I understand the soul's purpose. But whatever your memories are your memories, Nina. Everybody's got their own. Some people have a flashback. Some people kind of see somebody and they think, God, you look familiar, or maybe we've been together before. And yeah, the soul has memory. So you find your soul circle. Why do you communicate with certain people and not so much others? Because it's all one big soul circle. It really is. Just like I was talking about the synchronicity when I said, don't go. And as soon as that little bit of energy of that soul left me, it was my mom, the doorbell rang. I mean, it was planned like in a movie, people. I was upstairs. My family was downstairs. I was like, as shocked and in grief as I was, it was like, wow, look at how it really works. Synchronicity, God, spirit, the spiritual world, the evolution of the soul. It's the yin yang. It's very painful for me, but it's so beautiful because I know there's more. There is life after death. I don't know when my mom's reincarnating. Maybe she's having fun with my grandparents and my dogs and her dogs. I don't know. It's not ours to know when somebody reincarnates. I got some more coming in. I'm scared to call in, but I'm really confused about my life. Well, then book an appointment. You can go to my website for that. I'm not giving you a full reading. No, 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 no. That's you're asking me to give you a reading. If you're so confused in what to do after you graduate, then let me help guide you. That's what I am in business for. You book a reading. Can you talk about soulmates and knowing when you meet your person? Yeah, and you're like probably 25 years away, Renaj. You're not even going to be close to that. There's different types of soulmates. We have them in high school and college and work, and people marry people for the wrong reasons. But the true soulmate, there's three different types of soulmates. There's the companion where you're really good friends with somebody for your whole life or for a long time, and you're very similar, but there's never sex. The karmic relationships are where you get married, you have your kids. A lot of times they end up in divorce or death, or something happens that breaks them apart. And other people last, 30, 40, 50, 60 years together, and they're still in a karmic relationship, but they may not be as in love because they get tired of each other, or they know that there's something more out there or whatever. So that's the karmic relationship. It's the twin that everybody seems to be going after. And when you do meet the twin, you will know. I've met my twin, and I know I'm going to marry him. I know what's going on. And it's painful, and it's difficult, and it's a timely thing. And when you're with your twin, there's the run chase, the crash burn, there's the highs and lows, there's the mixed messages. But every time somebody meets somebody, is this it? Is this it? Is that? You always think this is it. We have four aspects to our personality: mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Most of the time when we're in a relationship, we've got physical and emotional, or physical and mental, or spiritual and sexual, but maybe not mental. There's always something off. So you're trying to make it work. Most of the time you're trying to plug into something that doesn't fit, right? Like the shoe doesn't fit. But people push, 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 and eventually they either surrender, they give in, or they change, or they compromise, and it works, or you walk away. And then on the other side, when you're really with the one that's just like you and the soul mirrors each other, it can be so overpowering and so frightening that people run away because it's scary, because the intensity that the soul feels, knowing it's been there before with this person, it's frightening. Renaj, you're far from that. You're far from that. And I'll with people, when you book an appointment, you go online, lindasalvin.com, you pay for the session. And when I receive the order in my email, I call you back and set up the time. I don't use the calendar online yet. But like I said, I've been doing this for over 30 years. Okay. If you really want direction for where to go in college, or if you're going to get into a PhD program, or if you're going to get a job and who you're going to marry and all that, that's all covered in your sessions. As far as what your fears are getting out of school, you got to just get inside yourself and figure out what you want to accomplish and take the first step. You'll be fine. It's just you're maturing. And then the 20s are probably the most difficult time in life and the most confusing. And then it starts to really balance it around age 31, 32 after your Saturn return. So we can talk about that. But talking about death and souls, it's like, okay, Renaj, what's in your soul? Is it art? Is it history? Is it politics? Is it medicine? Is it helping people? Is it wanting to be famous? Is it wanting to make money? Are you a business person? Do you want to travel? Do you love animals? Just keep going. And 20s are really bumpy. 20s are really weird. And a lot of people get married in their 20s and they get divorced at 28 to 30 because they realize, oh my God, we're growing up and I don't know who you are and I don't like you. Well, it doesn't matter if you've been in a relationship, and don't worry about talking to a guy. So you want to know about high school, you want to know about dating, why don't you just call me and let me help you, because that's what I do. And you're not the first to come up with all of this. It's just that you're starting to awaken. There's a girl that used to call the show all the time. She was just like you, and she used to call me when I was on cable in 400 markets, and she was from Minnesota, and she was 15 years old, this cute little girl. And she's in her 30s, maybe she's 40 now. She's probably 40 now. And she's got her master's, and she's real big in New York, and she she didn't have any relationships in high school, and she felt like the odd duck. And then she got all these guys, and then she was living with some guy, said, no, that's not going to work it out. Now she's with another guy. It's growth. It's change. There's no rule. There's no race. Don't compare yourself to the kids at school thinking you're not going to get there, because the ones that sometimes don't have it are the ones that make it the most. So when you're ready to really pay for my time and get into your truth, I'm there for you. I'll give bits and pieces on the show, but I do the show to encourage you to call me off the air, which is at lindasalvin.com or at the toll-free number that you hear at the end. But going back to the soul evolution, if you're in high school, you're 17, 18 years old, and you have feelings of what you think you know, what you think you might want to pursue. Maybe you want to be a teacher. Maybe you want to be a bus driver. Maybe you want to work in the automotive industry. Maybe you want to fly jets. Who knows? Go out and experience it, or go to college and start taking a bunch of classes. Go to archaeology, and then go to acting, and then go to writing, and then go to athletics, and see what you connect to. Not everybody's going to be Taylor Swift or Carole King or Barbara Streisand or any idol out there, Joni Mitchell, as far as music's concerned. Not everybody's going to get there. Some musician I know, so there's a lot of room in the middle, there's very little room at the top. And he's right, because it's real hard to get to that top, but everybody can still play music. Figure out what your passion is and take one step forward towards that. But I want you to understand that the soul does go on. Even though our body in this lifetime comes to an end, we don't die. The people who know us no longer see us or experience us and grieve. Some people never get over it. I have one person whose story's in my book coming out, where her son committed suicide. And she sent me pictures to prove that the channeling I did of him was real. I don't want to give it away here and there, but after 6 or 8 years, she was still grieving. And we always grieve, but you got to get on with life. As my dad always said, life is for the living. We can't just stay in bed, feel sorry, oh, he's dead, oh, he's gone, oh, he broke up with me, oh, she left me, oh, I can't live without her, oh, I didn't get into this school, I didn't get that job, we can't always, what if, the coulda, woulda, shouldas. You can't. Because we're not in control. And I just said that to prove it by me being in a plane crash. I wasn't in control of the plane crashing. I didn't fly the jet, but I crashed, changed my whole life. Yeah, it's 43 years now, but I'm still here. Yeah, my mom died 15 years ago next month, but I'm still here, and I can still feel her, and I can still feel sad. People, it's about living with pain and joy. It's learning how to integrate mind, body, spirit, taking nutrition, getting rid of depression, getting rid of high blood pressure, getting rid of diabetes, or lowering your A1Cs. I know somebody whose A1Cs went to 7 to 6 in like 3 weeks. Mine stabilized at 5.1. I think last time I had a blood test. Do you know how healthy that is? And the A1Cs don't need Ozempic for that, maybe to lose weight, but not for my blood pressure, not for diabetes. I have to get to know each of you in private session to identify what your own truth is and what you're going through. It's fun on the air, and I love having the questions, but some of them are a little too deep, and I can't give you what I would give you in a private session. I can tiptoe around it. The depth of what I do metaphysically is just like the definition of health is the state of mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. You put it all together. This is the wheel. It's like tuning up your car. Uh-oh, hose broke. Oh, the tire needs air. Oh, you're out of gas. You always got to do something to the car, wash it after a bad rain or a mudslide or someone splashes, right? You got to clean the car. I mean, a lot of people don't clean their cars, and it looks like, hey, they need to wash the car. Same thing, you got to wash your hair and wash your body. A lot of people don't. You can smell it. You can see it. You got to take care of. This is all you have. You're not going to turn into somebody else. You're not. Even if you have plastic surgery from head to toe, you're still in that body, that soul. Okay, let's go to Nicole, who's calling in, and see what she's got going. Hey, Nicole, you're on with Dr. Linda. Thank you for calling. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Linda. Thank you so much for allowing me to call in. I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, here comes Constance from Korea. She'll call in too. Call in next, Constance. So how can I help you, or what question, or do you want to comment on the soul evolution or me losing my mom and how the synchronicity of spirit works? What's on your mind?
Yes, well, I want to say thank you first for sharing with us your experience and the knowledge that you have, and also about with your mom.
Wait, we're breaking up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Nicole. You're breaking up.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Kind of. What did you just say that you wanted?
Okay, 1 second. Let me, I'm going to move to a space in the house that's service. Hold on. 1 second.
Are you on a headset or
Okay.
speaker? Are you on a wait? Are you on a headset? Or, no, take your. It's the headset. You can't be on speaker or a headset. You can't.
Can you hear me?
No, you're gonna have to call back.
Okay,
Nicole.
can you hear me?
All right, kind of.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
All right, there
Okay,
you are.
sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we've only got 3 minutes. So what do you need to have an answer to?
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, when it comes down to us being here on Earth, what should we focus on more? Because there's a lot of distractions.
Of
So what would
course.
be your advice? What should we focus on?
God, love. You want to stay focused on your truth. You want to stay focused on the light. I mean, we're constantly bombarded by social media. Buy this, go there, travel here, wear this, have this nip and tuck, right? Everything's to distract us, and we want it. And then you buy it. Oh, I bought this great purse, and then it sits, right? After 3 times you wore it, you're bored, or you don't know where you are. To focus on God, prayer, spirituality, everything else will fall into place, and it'll balance your physical, mental, and spiritual, emotional. Once you get the spiritual handled, bring that in, and all of it comes together. You've got a child, you've got work, you've got money, but you're still not there. Open up spiritually and watch how it grows, like watering a tree, and the leaves come out in the spring. You've already got it, Nicole. You just need to now nurture it. You just need to open up. We're coming to the end of the show. This went so fast. I used to do 2-hour broadcasts because I would go into monologue for like an hour, and then the phones would light up. And that's what happens here. And it's amazing. Somehow you guys have to catch me at the first part of the hour and start calling in so we can do all of this. Or maybe at some point I'll get a 2-hour block and we'll just do the old shows and let everybody chime in. Stay focused and find your way to find your light. Find the prayer. Find that connection to your God, whatever it is. If it's a butterfly, because I talk about the butterfly all the time, as my poem says that I read all the time. It's on my website. I didn't make it up. It's a Sanskrit poem from the year 1200. God, are you real? The child whispered, God, speak to me. A meadowlark sang. The child did not hear. Did not hear. The child said, God, speak to me. The thunder rolled across the sky. The child did not listen. The child said, God, speak to me. The star shone brightly, but the child did not see. So the child said, show me a miracle. And a child was born, but the child did not know. So the child said, touch me, God, show me you're real. Whereupon God reached down and touched the child, but the child brushed the butterfly away unknowingly. It's all here, Nicole. Just why I was trying to explain the soul evolution and my mom's passing and the doorbell ringing. You have your moment. You already have it. Now we just have to find the path and to get you more in tune so that you can ascend and grow. And then you'll hear more prayers, asking, talking to God, meditations, listening. Hey, God, how are you doing today? Fine, Linda, go get on with your day. You can take a piece of paper, say, dear Nicole, I don't need your help today. Love, God. Let it go. Let it happen. Okay? Call me off the air, everybody. I got to start closing the show. Thanks, Nicole. Call me again at another point. I got a couple of comments here. Yes, I'm in my 20s. Constance, I can't see her comment. Let's see what's going on here. No. Good morning, John. Hi, how are you? We'll have to meet again next week, everybody. So prepare to watch Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Psychic Solutions Podcast, especially Thursday. Call in. Let's do more and more of this. So, for 2 or 3 minutes, you're sharing your experience. One's in Korea, one's a teacher, one's a bus driver, one's in college, one's getting married, one's getting out of high school, one's a comedian, one's got dental work. And there's always something in life. There's always something. Carolyn Harbert, she was an airline stewardess. She walked me through me being in the plane crash when she was a stewardess. It's all here. Just let me help you lighten that up for you. I'll show you a little easier, softer way so you don't have to trip so hard, okay? That's the end of the show for today. Call me off the air. 888-509-1077 is the toll-free number. or just go to my website, lindasalvin.com. Please sign on or click on, to subscribe to the YouTube. Leave some comments on the YouTube. I would love to get that going. Storm's got thousands. You guys come from Storm as well. Help me grow. Help me get to the next place on the digital platforms. I've already been big in AM, FM, cable. I did it 30 years ago. 22 years I did all this stuff. Now let's grow this one. I'm not done. I'm just moving forward, just like you. I'm here for you. Talk to you later, everybody. Watch for butterflies on your journey.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed Dr. Linda Salvin's Psychic Solutions Podcast. You can reach Dr. Linda at 888-509-1077 or at lindasalvin.com. Need a breakthrough of your own? Ready for answers or insights nobody else has? Reserve your own one-on-one in-person chat. Dr. Linda isn't just for other people. Dr. Linda gets results for you. And it's easy. Contact details are on screen now. Just click on lindasalvin.com or call toll-free 888-509-1077. That's lindasalvin.com or toll-free at 888-509-1077.